It's 5:30. We'll call the November 20th Raynham Conservation Commission meeting to order. Be advised, all these meetings are taped. Read full.
All public hearings and meetings heard by the Raynham Conservation Commission on Wednesday, November 20, 2019 at 5:30 p.m. in the Raynham Veterans Memorial Town Hall, Donald L. McKinnon Meeting Room, 558 South Main Street, Raynham, Mass. Are relative to filings in joint hearings and/or meetings under Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, as amended, and the Town of Raynham Protection Bylaw.
All right, thank you. I'm going to start with general business. Did everyone get a chance to read the minutes from November 6th?
Motion to accept. Second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Bills here? Oh, sorry. Correspondence? Nothing? All right. Site visits, we've got one coming up. It was sent out email today. I don't know if anybody saw that. It was 22 Paramount Drive. I did a couple the other day for tree removals, and those are all set. So with that, we'll go into informal. We have a certificate of compliance for Meadow Drive. Meadow Drive, map 17, there's two of them. Map 17, two different parcels. They've both been continued to December 4th meeting.
Both Meadow Drives?
Both
Yeah.
Meadow Drive ones, yeah.
Motion to continue certificate of compliance, DEP file 2690935, Meadow Drive, map 17, parcels 82-1, 82-2, 84-A, 84-B, 86, Douglas A.K. Builders.
Second.
And second one, too.
You want to do the vote?
Okay, just do it.
Yep.
All right. Motion been made, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. All right.
Motion to continue certificate of compliance, DEP file number 269012, Meadow Drive, map 17, partial 82-1, 82-2, Douglas A. King Builders.
Second.
Motion made, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. All right. We have a certificate of compliance for DEP file 269-0951, 1443 Broadway, map 3, parcel 92, Brett. I don't know if you're going to pronounce it. Okay, take your word.
Yep, we're all set with that?
Well-
Yes, Mr. Chairman, after review, you've got it all set.
Yep.
You've got a certificate of compliance.
Okay, motion to issue certificate of compliance, DEP file 2690951, 1443 Broadway, map 3, partial 92, Brett Skorkinski.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Perfect. Great timing. All right, we'll open up the formal. I'm gonna do something first. We have a notice of intent for DEP file 2690990, 61 Richmond Street, map 14, parcel 65, Ashley and Brett DeLongchamps. Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, just name and address for the record.
Sure. Ashley DeLongchamp, 61 Richmond Street, Raynham, Mass.
All right, so we're back. You want to explain what's happened? Go ahead.
Do you need all this too? Because I had to bring this for the meeting.
Yes, we need that, definitely.
I apologize, I thought it was a continuation.
That's okay.
Top one, yeah, Paul.
In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Town of Raynham local bylaw, the Raynham Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, November 20 at 5:30 p.m. in the Donald L. McKinnon Meeting Room of the Raynham Veterans Memorial Town Hall at 558 South Main Street, Raynham, Mass. On a notice of intent filed by Brett and Ashley DeLongchamp, 61 Richmond Street, Raynham, Mass. 02767. The applicant proposes filling, grading, and relocation of a shed that would be located 1 foot from the bordering vegetated wetland. The applicant also requires review and approval of a delineated vegetated wetland line and associated resource areas. The property is owned by Brett and Leslie DeLongchamp, 61 Richmond Street, Raynham, Mass. 02767, and is located at 61 Richmond Street, Raynham, Mass. 027, map 14, parcel 65.
Very good. Okay, so we're back here. Go ahead and give us a update on what's been done.
So last time we came here, you informed us that we need to have the engineer come out and get the plan for you, and we gave it to the DEP, and they said that they approved, and therefore would give it to you to look over and all of that.
We did get, Mr. Chairman, we did get a DEP file number, so the DEP did send us a file number.
Okay, great. Azu?
If you may recall, this is the result of an enforcement order that the commissioner had issued way back, and they have responded with the filing of the notice of intent. You can see the silt fences inside the wetlands. So I would imagine that I had expressed a desire and to basically perhaps work out with the Longchamps because of the layout of their property. But I do think that the blue stone, the edge of the blue stone that is adjacent to wetlands flag E6 and E7 should be cut back. They need that blue stone going all the way around the shed. Anytime that they replace it, it's going to create more encroachment to the wetlands. So I think they probably can allow area that is to the east of the shed, south of the shed, a little bit west of the shed, and then maybe come up as you go north from A9 to E7, cut back that line, and actually put a visible barrier along the edge of that bluestone, so that we have a real barrier that keeps the bluestone from going to the wetlands.
Okay, so we'll just suggest like a,
An engine, yeah,
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 You understand?
some type of barrier.
yeah, even if it's a landscape
Around
timber.
the bluestone, so it doesn't gravitate into the wetlands.
So cut back a little bit, where 7 to 6 is, just fold the stone back, drop some type of barrier in there so that it is a permanent reminder not to go any further.
It would be required to put signage.
Signage, exactly, yep. What we're gonna ask is, do you put signage along the wetland flags where they're numbered? We have it on our website, just a small sign that says, no work beyond this point.
Well, Mr. Chairman, it probably will be at the limit of the bluestone.
It just don't.
Because if you put the sign on the
True,
wetlands,
true.
then they'll be working into the wetlands.
True, yeah, okay. All right.
My only concern is we close on our house on November 22nd, and we noticed that the deed, or I'm sorry, I don't know how it relates, but like, because we're selling our house, it's attached to our deed, but we're closing on the 22nd this Friday, so how would that go upon for?
Yep, go for it.
So the reason why you have to definitely do this is because of the enforcement order, there's a lien, okay? So the bank is making a lot of these decisions as far as work too is being done. There is a lien on the property. Your bank is able to work with you to put money in escrow, you can still close, but the work has to be continued, okay? We're not gonna hold up the closing. The bank may hold up the closing. You need to work with them to tell them what's going on, to explain all of this, and have them work with you to continue the closing.
Because when we talk to like everybody that's involved in, like our attorney for the closing and stuff, they said that we do need to have paperwork in order to like bring to the deeds office prior to closing, and we wouldn't be able to close because of that.
And that's all up to your bank, your attorneys, okay? That doesn't have anything to do with what's going
No,
on.
I understand that. It's just, I'm a little upset because this just got found out like less than a month ago, and, you know, we're closing on our house, and we had no knowledge of this paperwork from March. We would have had this done a long time ago, because I've done everything else that you asked us to do, so. And we just wanna move on with our lives,
Yours
you know.
intended to just do the order conditions and move forward?
Yeah, I mean, you can't close it here because the commission wanted to work with them.
Right.
But even DEP wouldn't issue a file number, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the commission's responsibility to chase them around to get the proper paperwork. So what I'm still thinking is if there were lumber or timber or whatever, some kind of an edge around here, and that will be the outline of the, so that at least it provides some sort of, a little buffer. So that red line will be the outline of the engine.
But we could do this through an order of conditions, and
Yeah.
not have to hold
Yeah.
up any longer than.
Right, so if you want to help with the situation, I think what they need to do is issue an order of conditions. This order of conditions needs to be recorded. And then when it's recorded, that the order of conditions, which will still show up as a lien, they can actually get this order of conditions recorded, and then put the lumber in, put the sign up. They can do that tomorrow or Friday. They come back for a certificate of compliance. And then if they meet the requirements for certificate of compliance, then we can give a letter from the office, we've done that before, a letter that says that They have complied, and as soon as at the next available meeting of the commission will issue a certificate of compliance. And that will usually be like a week or two later on, and the lawyers tend to agree with that.
Let me do that.
Do you understand that? When we said-
It's not gonna be done by Friday. Okay.
But if we can show good faith that she's made a good effort and that we're.
We'll work with her.
process,
We're done.
Then we should be able to take that to the bank and get clearance to go forward.
Yeah.
Because I would have had this done a long time ago.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. What, and you want to just step up here for a second?
Yeah, please.
This is what we're recommending for some type of barrier,
Okay.
whether you decide what you want to do, landscape timber, whatever's easier, little piece of fence, whatever. But to move it up here so that you're pulling the stone away from this area here.
Okay.
But,
It should be a real quick fix.
so will you do that on this map, because I only have one map, so I can't give her that one.
Signage.
Oh, I'm sorry, and the signage.
And that's on the website, you said I can find
That's
it?
not on the website.
Oh, it's not on there anymore?
The other conditions will say what it is. Basically, there will no work beyond this area.
Yeah, but I thought we had stuff on the website for signage. No? Okay, I'm sorry. Just a little sign that says no work beyond this point.
Like I can literally make it myself? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just,
I can actually show you what it looks like.
Oh.
I have a ton of them in my yard.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
We may even get
They're
help.
everywhere.
He may have extras, I don't know.
That way we can close tonight
Yeah.
and do the issue so that she can expedite the whole process.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
But just,
But again, it's not
Just
gonna be
keep it-
signed
yeah.
until December 4th. The order of conditions isn't gonna be signed until the 4th of December. Then it's gotta be recorded,
yeah.
okay? Once it's recorded, then she has a COC, which again has to come before a meeting again. But it's all a process, okay? So it's not gonna be immediate, just so you know.
No, but if we give her a letter
Yeah.
that says this is what the process is, so that the bank knows, okay, we'll be done within a month or 6 weeks, then they have something to work with in terms of saying, okay, we're gonna hold an escrow for until January, whatever, or until December.
Yeah.
But yes, what Gail is telling you is correct, so we can do a letter that explains that, so you can take that letter to the bank.
Okay, and when would I be able to have that letter to give to everyone?
Next week?
After?
Huh? Oh, you're not here next week?
What time's you closing on Friday?
For our home, it's 10 a.m.
Are you here tomorrow? You can do the letter tomorrow.
Right.
Are you
I'm
gonna-
holding you to
Are
that.
you gonna be able to draft it up and,
No, I'll draft it up if I leave,
okay, perfect.
if I leave tonight.
Okay. Put it on tape?
No, record him.
Oh, it's on film.
Okay, so anybody in the audience have questions, concerns? Nope. All right, then.
Do you want to give that one to Ashley? That plan?
Yes.
Oh, do you mind just writing, exactly?
So this part of the wood still needs to be done.
Okay. Mhm.
Just make sure this is a covered sign.
Yes, like eliminated or something that's,
That doesn't get washed away.
yes.
And then not hanging on a twig.
No, no, I'll put it on like a stake or something.
Usually the easiest thing is like a piece of PVC pipe,
Okay.
just drive it into the ground, that way it's kind of a permanent.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're gonna give a picture of that one that lady did. That's
I know
perfect.
it. That was a good one.
Okay, motion to close, notice of intent, DEP file 2690990, 61 Richmond Street, map 14, partial 65, Ashley Brent deletions.
Second.
Motion been made second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous? One more.
Okay, motion to, issue a notice of intent. What's that? Order of conditions, as denoted in this discussion, for notice of intent for DEP file number 2690990, 61 Richmond Street, at 14, partial 65 Ashley Brent deletions.
Second.
Motion been made second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you so
Good
much.
luck.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
All right, all right, let's do, we have a discussion regarding the conditions for the order of conditions for DEP file 2690987, 33 Commercial Street, map 14, parcel 50-1 and 50-2, construction source management. Is anybody here for that? No. All right. Last meeting, we had a hearing on the proposal that they brought forward. We had some concerns. So I will entertain people's opinions.
Well, the issue, I think it was related to a barrier between the wetland and the property that they want to repurpose to store lumber, etc. Their claim was that there was a relief from the 25-foot setback because the property was identified and set up prior to our bylaw. And that their claim is that they don't have to adhere to that, so. I think that we don't, if that's the case, we don't really have.
But
anything we can do.
it's a bylaw, but it's also a regulation, correct? So we have the right to enforce the regulation.
That is correct.
It's our choice if we want to give people relief from the regulation. We kind of were leaning towards giving them the relief, but we wanted a small little buffer, and they were kind of reluctant to give it to us. I didn't think 5 foot was asking, 5-6 feet were asking much.
Well, I would like to see that buffer that we requested.
I agree with
How I
you.
feel about that situation.
Kevin, Will, your opinions?
Well, we had talked about a bunch of conditions, like no liquid storage, and no vehicles parked in unpaved areas.
I thought they agreed to that, though.
Yeah, but they all should be part of this discussion, making sure. that-
Right.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
What I thought was that we do a conditioned submission of a plan with a 5-foot buffer between the wetland and the limit of work. And if they appeal that to DEP, I don't think they'll get anywhere. So I think it's a reasonable condition.
Kevin?
I would say if the 25 foot is something that the applicant was unreasonable to do, then let's at least meet in the middle, a 5-foot swale, a 5-foot section on the back side of the swale that abuts the conservation area, the 3-foot swale, and then a 5-foot grass section in front of that with the,
Barrier to
a
keep.
barrier.
Yes.
And post and rail fence at that point. that's splitting the difference,
Mhm.
50-50. So I think it's pretty reasonable splitting the difference 50-50.
I agree with you.
So if we put that in an order of conditions, they can either accept that or not accept it.
So what I have done, you have the section.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what I said.
So we have-
Okay, so, I basically said this, there would be, we should have made the copies. But it says that if the commission were to vote to deny the project, that was my premise, it should note that it is a denial without prejudice, and then make the following findings as a basis for the denial. The town of Raynham, so these are the findings. The town of Raynham Wetlands Protection Bylaw and its regulations require that all projects maintain the minimum undisturbed buffer between site activities and bordering vegetated wetlands resource area. Historically, however, the commission has granted waivers to allow a reduced undisturbed buffer where a project site was in existence prior to each adoption of the local bylaw and its regulations. During the public hearing on the subject site, the commission expressed a willingness to reduce the required undisturbed buffer strip and inquired of the applicant's representative if the site plan could be revised to provide at least a 5 to 10 foot buffer strip, and the applicant's representative responded by suggesting that the commission could include such provision as a condition of approval. However, the commission is of the opinion that a plan which properly depicts the buffer strip would serve as a better medium for verifying compliance and for inspection purposes, rather than a condition of approval that could be inadvertently vague and confusing. Number two, whereas the proposed use is for construction material, business and/or equipment and tool storage, the buffer strip described herein above will serve as a first line of defense against any deleterious or harmful material introduction into the bordering vegetated wetlands resource. Furthermore, the applicant has not provided a listing of materials that are proposed for on-site storage, which would allow the commission to assess the risk being posed to the wetlands, given its proximity. 3, the stormwater report relies solely on the Natural Resource Conservation Service soils map in the stormwater monitoring system design and calculations. The Natural Resource Conservation Service maps are a good starting point. However, in situ or in place, in situ soils evaluation and analysis is required to corroborate the Natural Resource Conservation Service permeability and infiltration rates assumed in the swale design, as the swale is the sole method for stormwater runoff attenuation. And then I said, if the commission were to approve the project, the foregoing could be reworked to serve as conditions that will have to be satisfied before construction may proceed. So that would be basically changing it to address whatever Will just said. So you have both options either way.
If we deny them, and they go to DEP, and they get override on our denial, then we don't have any legs to
Not if,
any.
yeah, not if you do crap this, they will not leave you. And plus, they have to also go to the Superior Court to get you overturned under the bylaw.
So less likely to do that.
Right, and the reason, that's why you go over here, if you are denied with this basis, you're saying it is a denial without prejudice. And DEP will tell them, well, this is what they asked you to do, why don't you go back and do it?
If we deny them, they come forward wanting to meet these so-called conditions or requirements, do they have to issue another notice of intent?
No, they can ask you to reopen the file, okay? Because then DEP will make it a remand instead of, so once they express their willingness to work with the commission, the DEP will tell them, okay, we can remand it back to Concom. And then they will reopen the hearing and then submit the plan to address the issue.
What's our recourse if we issue to approve with our conditions laid out as you depicted here?
Well, they can also appeal that.
They can appeal that as well.
Right.
So there's really no downside either way.
No, I don't think so. I've been wrong before, but not on this one.
All right, with that said, then, I'll entertain a motion.
So,
If you, my opinion, if you go to approve, we have to be very specific in our wording on what we'd like to see, correct?
those we deny.
If we deny, we just deny for the reasons we just read, based on what was just said.
Well,
I don't know, it might be the safest thing just to deny it and then have them come back and say,
that's what I'm thinking.
we were willing to work with you. Let's sit back down at the table here.
Well, I would make that motion.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to deny 33 Commercial Street, map 14, map 14, parcel 50-1, 50-2. All in favor of denial?
Discussions.
I'm sorry, what?
Discuss, right, minute motion. second.
Motion made and
So
seconded.
you got any discussion on the motion?
Any discussion?
I make the motion.
You're good, you're good.
I just feel like we should maybe approve with the conditions that we've set forth and let them appeal it, but that's just my 2 cents. Either way, at the end of the day, if it gets denied and goes to the DEP, we're back discussing it again anyways. So I think whichever way we go, it's gonna end up at DEP regardless, but I'm more for.
I just think denying it would be the safest route. And that way, we have a whole meeting to sit and say, this is what we'd like to see. Do it right in front of us, instead of us kind of trying to think of it right here at this minute.
All the possibilities.
That's my opinion.
That also gives them a chance to come and negotiate according to conditions which lays out what they have. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with Kevin. It would go faster and easier if we just issued it. And if they tried to appeal those conditions to the DEP, they would get nowhere. Because they're very reasonable, and they're actually,
I agree they are very reasonable conditions.
less stringent than, and I don't think anybody here is gonna back off of that anymore through negotiation. It's pretty neat.
Like I said, I agree with both. I just kind of an opinion that denial would be the easiest route. Because I don't think they'd want to go to Superior Court over, 5,000 square foot parking lot.
What's your recommendation, of course, of that?
Well, first of all, the motion, I will probably, for discussion, probably say that the motion is for denial without prejudice.
Right.
So that motion needs to be read out.
Without prejudice, yeah.
Might want to amend your motion to that effect. And then,
Well, yeah.
amend your motion that says it's denial without prejudice, and for the following reasons that have been read into record.
Okay, so I will amend that to deny the project, but the denial is without prejudice.
Right into it.
And the reasons are, yeah.
Second.
Then, well, all it does is, and I agree with, That's why I said in the bottom here, either way, you can phrase it as a condition of approval. But what it also does, if you deny without prejudice, it allows you to think more on the project. You know, because you have a very short window to sign the paperwork, right? Because you have 21 days within which to, this is 14 days today. Right, so you basically have 7 days, right? So that's the only thing that we have to draft, redo this as conditions of approval, then you have to, and then you can't discuss it outside of a posted meeting. So that is why it's quicker to do the denial without prejudice. But that's up to you guys. You can also convene a special meeting tomorrow if you want to.
All right, any more discussion? All right, motion been made and seconded to deny without prejudice. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have 3 in favor, 2 opposed. Motion carries.
So, Gail, if you can give them the
Brings it back to the two.
signature page. So they're gonna send it tomorrow. And then we'll take this and put it in the, where it says special conditions.
Okay. Yeah. I know you took
We're counting
something.
papers.
Okay. Next up is request for determination 1470 and 1510 New State Highway, map 16, parcel 2D. Anyone here for that one? Oh, okay.
In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Town of Raynham local bylaw, the Raynham Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, November 20th at 5:30 p.m. in the Donald McKinnon Meeting Room, in Raynham Memorial, Veterans Memorial Town Hall, 558 South Main Street, Raynham, Mass, on a request for determination of applicability filed by Richard Ream of Prime Engineering Incorporated, P.O. Box 1088, Lakeville, Mass. 02347. The applicant requests a determination to connect the plaza to the municipal sewer to decommission the existing antiquated subsurface sewage disposal system, which is 10 feet more or less from a bordering vegetated wetland at the closest point, and whether it is subject to jurisdiction under the Wetland Protection Act of Town of Raynham, wetland bylaw. The property is owned by PRRL Associates Incorporated and located at 1470 and 1510 New State Highway, Raynham, Mass. Assessors map 16, parcel 2B.
All right.
Good evening. My name is Rich Riel. I'm from Prime Engineering, and we did this plans. This is the Raynham Marketplace plaza. And it has a very,
Sorry,
very...
sir. Could you just speak loud tonight? We're having audio problems. That's
Okay.
not working. so-
That's not working, okay.
You're just kind of,
Yes, I can speak very loud.
thank you.
So the plaza is serviced by a very old subsurface sewage disposal system, and the town has come by and put a sewer force main in front of the site and left 2 stubs in front of the property. The green area that is here in the front is a detention basin, and the detention basin was constructed prior to 1996. And because it was constructed prior to 1996, it is considered a resource area. If it had been constructed later, we could just do this without your permission. And so the stub is located on the very left side of the property. It might be easier if you pull this back a little bit.
Oh, we can't, I'm sorry, we can't because the camera can't see it.
Can you see it?
How-
You're all set?
You're all good? Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
So because there's a Dunkin' Donuts on this side and 2 restaurants on the right side, we need to keep the grease trap from the septic system. But the rest of the septic system will be decommissioned in accordance with the Board of Health regulations and Title V. And then the rest of the domestic sewage is going to come down to a Environment 1 pump that's going to be placed in the grass area, and then that just ejects into the force main. Same thing on the other side. It comes through the grease trap for the Dunkin' Donuts. The rest of the septic system is decommissioned, and this gravity flows to an existing proposed Environment 1 pump, and then it injects into the stuff. We've shown silt fence to be wrapped around the detention basin. The detention basin is essentially just lawn area for most of the time. You know, it's just in a very large storms that it would fill up, but most of the time it's lawn and it's mowed.
Did you have a chance to review it?
Yes, sir. It's, as Mr. Young has stated, it's pretty much what's there, it's the age of the project. So I really don't have an issue with it. So, but I will say that any work that they're doing that is in erosion control be installed and be inspected prior to, I just have to do the other one. The other
And I don't think we use silt fence there, we just use a regular,
yeah, but you don't have a very drop steep.
yeah, just a sock.
Yeah. Yeah, the work will be done so fast that by the time you write an order of conditions, it's done.
Yeah. All right, any commissioners have any questions?
I do have one comment. The silk fence on this part here, the orange.
No, the orange is the proposed, yeah.
This is proposed silk
It's
fence.
a dark, see this dashed line right here? It runs from here. goes around here.
So the silk fence is gonna run where the proposed line is gonna be.
Right.
But my question is, are you gonna be staking the that silk fence into pavement? I've been to that drive-through of that Dunkin' Donuts, and you usually come in this way, swing around to the window, so that's pavement where you're planning on putting the silk fence in.
We've revised the plan to show it running right on the edge of the pavement.
The silk fence.
The silt fence.
But that's why, Mr. Rio, that's why we're saying use of the compost seal soil.
Compost.
That's right, because that will make a better contact with the ground over there.
Right. The intent, I think it would take us about an hour to do that stretch, you know. It's- Because the Dunkin' Donuts doesn't want to be interrupted, they're going to be on our back to just sock up the pavement, install the line. It's
Well,
relatively
so
shallow.
that's why that if you put the silt sock, that lays right on the ground.
Yeah,
You don't have to start pounding the stake
right.
with the,
Right, I agree with that.
And that was my comment, is if you're putting a silk fence in into asphalt,
Gonna be kinda hard.
It's gonna be kinda hard.
You know?
Right, okay. We accept that as a condition of, that
It will be,
it
it will be -3.
the filter socket replaced all three of this pavement.
Any other questions?
What's the negative?
The one that it will not have, even though it's in the bulk done, it won't have any plant, and then the following conditions required.
Anybody else have any comments? Anybody in the audience have any questions, concerns, comments?
Yeah,
Sir,
I'll
if you just
join
step
that.
up to the mic. Actually, yeah, just step up.
Just step up to the podium.
We just gotta be able to get it on camera. Apologize. Just your name and address.
My name is Paul Jordan, 858 Church Street. I bought the property, I received a notification of this meeting, and, you know, we couldn't determine what the reason for this was. I'm surprised that the plaza was never tied into town sewer.
Yeah, they just existed on the old subsurface sewage disposal system,
Wow.
but they're all leach pits. They're
Yeah.
nothing that's allowed
In
today.
there since they built this thing. So, we would certainly have no objection to what he's proposed here, as a matter of fact. I'd encourage it.
It's good to hear. Happy customer, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, with that, motion?
Motion to issue a negative determination 3 on 1470 and 1510 Use State Highway map 16, partial 2B.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
I have a question for the sewer application, the DPW. They want conservation sign off.
Yeah.
Do we use the
Yeah.
negative determination as a sign off, or do you sign the form?
We signed the form, Joe.
Can I just give it to you now? The application form.
I won't sign it right now, I thought we should determine it.
Yeah.
Well, why should we?
This is the application that they want. Conservation sign off of the wetlands on the site.
So what I would say, so what I would put there was, where it says for conservation sign off, say see the determination of applicability issued by the commission.
Okay.
And that'll be a different.
I can let you. Yeah, so when you buy
Well,
actually.
well, because then that way, that determination carries the conditions of.
Why can't it be signed the same night that we sign the determination? Because we don't have the determination ready, it's not gonna be ready until December 4th,
Yeah.
and then that night, that gets signed with the determination.
When I put this with the paperwork,
Yeah.
when we sign the determination, I'll sign it.
Sign down, right.
So can I keep this,
December
Oh,
or?
yeah, you can sure.
Okay, and then we'll sign it, we'll put it with the file, and we'll sign it both the same night.
So I don't have to come back.
No,
No, then you don't.
Okay, good, thank you very much.
I will turn, what usually happens when the determination is signed, I send it out certified mail, so I'll have that in the envelope with the determination, certified mail,
Okay, perfect.
okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
That's all your turn.
Yeah, no, I moved one. All right, issuance of an order of condition, DEP file 2690988, 0 Blue Jay Lane, lot 11, map 12, parcel 219-9B, Longville Homes.
Motion to issue order of conditions, DEP file number 2690988, 0 Blue Jay Lane, lot 11, map 12, parcel 219.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Issuance of order of
Okay, so
conditions,
you want actually-
DEP file 2690989, 0 Goldfinch Drive, Lot 14, map 12, parcel 219-16B, Long-Built Homes.
Motion to issue, DEP file number 269-0989, 0 Goldfinch Drive, lot 14, map 12, parcel 219-16B, Landville Homes.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous. All right, let's see, issuance of a determination of ability, 795 Pine Street, map 13, parcel 54-2, Tim Corridge.
Motion to issue, hey, say what we issue.
Is it a negative or a positive?
I don't remember this.
That's another sewer plant.
So it's a.
That's that long one?
So it's a negative.
The negative, yeah.
All right, motion to issue negative determination of applicability, 795 Pine Street, map 13, parcel 54-2, Tim Thornton.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous. That was that long one?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't remember this one.
That was a negative, that was the fence, replacing the
The
fence.
fence, that's right.
Oh, the fence, okay.
Right down here.
Issuance of determination of applicability, 483 South Main Street, map 11, parcel 193, Mike Mallow.
Motion to issue negative determination for 483 South Main Street, map 11, parcel 193, Michael Miller.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimous. That was Will on that second.
I think she. We'll let you do it.
All right.
Chairman, the only other thing is just in
Oh.
front of you, you have the meeting dates, if you can just review, so that the next meeting we can approve. All right.
Do you have anything else, Patty?
Who's drafting that letter?
What's the site visit in Paramount Drive, what's that?
Oh, inspection of the hay bales, Paramount Drive.
Oh, yeah, that was already done.
Oh, it was already done?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Because they just sent the certified letter, and that's why.
Well,
Yeah.
remember when they had called.
Okay, so you've already done that, okay. Perfect.
You ready for my motion, Mr. Chairman?
Well, would you like to make a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion been made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.